Hi guys, so in this video we are going to install SAP Commerce Cloud with version 2011. I have listed in this document 8 steps for the installation. The same steps you can follow for 2005 and 1905 version installation as well. Now let's start our installation with step 1. So step 1 is download and install the Java. Before we install the Java, we need to make sure that which Java version we are going to use. So for 2011, 2005 and 1905 JDK 11 or later version is required. Also, it is fully compatible with SAP Machine 11 as well. It is not compatible with the previous version. So just make sure about it. So first step is download and install JDK 11. I have already downloaded the JDK 11. Let me show you that. Here you can see I have downloaded JDK 11.4.9. So double click on this and follow the further step for the installation. After installation, you will able to see one JDK folder. So go to the C drive, program files, Java. Inside the Java folder, you will able to see that this new folder is created with name JDK 11.4.9. Now let's move to the next step. Next step is set the environment variable. Here we are creating new system variable with the name value pair. So now let's check how to create this variable. For this you need to follow this path. Open advanced setting, click on environment variable, and under system variable we have to create the system variable. So let's do that. I am opening advanced system setting. Here you can see environment variables. Here in system variables, now you can create that system variable with variable name at Java home and with variable value. So I have already installed it and already I have set the path. So let me show you. See, here I have set variable name at Java home and variable value is nothing but the path of the JDK folder which I have shown you. So with these steps, we are done with our Java installation. Now let's check that Java version. I am here in the command line. With the Java version, you will able to see the Java version which I have installed. See, here you can see Java version 11.4.9. So with these steps, we are good with our JDK installation. Now let's move to the step 2. Step 2 is download and unpack the SAP Commerce Suite. So here I have downloaded the SAP Commerce Suite. Here you can see I have downloaded this zip. So click on this zip and with 7-zip software extract it. After successful extraction, you will able to see this folder. So this is the default or you can say a fresh structure of the Hybris. So here you can see Hybris installer license folder. Inside Hybris, we will able to see only one folder, that is nothing but a bin folder. And inside bin, there are only modules and platform. In the next step, we will see how to create the other folders in the Hybris folder. Now let's move to the next step. That is set up Apache Ant. So important point to note here is that Apache Ant tool here we are using for the build. So procedure for setting this Ant environment is like first navigate to the platform folder in installation and then we have to open the command prompt. So I am going to the platform folder and from here I am opening the command line. So here I have opened the command line. Now the next step is we need to run the proper command for setting the Ant environment. So for Windows, we need to enter this command, that is set ant environment.bat. For Windows PowerShell, we need to use this command, and for Unix system, we need to use this command. So as I am here using Windows system, so I am using this command and enter. Here you can see the version of your Apache Ant. So here I am using 1.10.9 version. Here you don't need to download it separately, it is already part of Hybris. Here we are done with the step 3. Now let's move to the step 4. So step 4 is nothing but creating the project directories in Hybris folder. As I have told you already that in Hybris basically we have only bin folder. So after this and clean all command, you will able to see more other folders as well. So again you need to navigate to the platform folder and you need to install the and clean all. Important point to note here is that we need to select the template as well. So default template here is the develop, and always make sure that develop template is for test and development and demonstration purpose. For production we are not going to use the develop template. Let me tell you how to run this and clean all command in a platform folder. So here I am already in a platform path. Type here and clean all and enter. Press enter. Here you can see it is showing press enter to use the default value. So here default value is develop. So I am entering it. After successful build, you will able to see the folders. Those folders are nothing but config, data log, roles and temp folder. So for time saving purpose, I have already installed 2011. So let me show you that. So here you can see after installation along with bin folder, you will able to see config, data log, roles and temp folders as well. One more important point to note here is that inside config folder, here we are having local.properties file and local extension.xml file. Let me open this file. So see, this local extension.xml file is currently empty. Let me open local.properties file. See, here this file is also empty. So after installation of recipe, the extension and the properties will get added in the respective file. So I will show you that also. Now let's move to the next step. Next step is very major step. That is nothing but installing SAP Commerce using installer recipe. So with this installer, we can easily install the SAP Commerce setup and you will able to access B2C and B2B accelerators. Installer recipes are intended for demo and development purpose only. We need to make sure that we should not use the recipes on production. So in Hybris, where we can find these recipes, let me show you the path. So this is the downloaded through. Then go to the installer. Inside installer, go to the recipes and see here you will able to see the recipes. So for our B2C and B2B accelerator, we are using CX recipe. So next step is setting the administration password manually. For security reason, SAP Commerce comes with no default password for the administration user, that is admin user. So for this, there are two ways to set the password. First one is setting the administration password in build.gradle file, and the second is setting the administration password with the recipe. So I have followed the first approach, that is do the changes in build.gradle file. So I have already made the changes in build.gradle file. Let me show you those files. So go to this, then installer. I'm going to recipes. We are going to use CX recipe, so I'm opening CX recipe. See, here we have build.gradle file. So I'm going to open it and see, here I have added the property, that is initial password.admin, and this is nothing but the value. So here I have set value as admin1234. You can set any password here. So with this build.gradle file, you can set the password, and with the second approach also you can set the password. So in the second approach, you don't need to make the changes in build.gradle file. This is the command for the installation of recipes. So while installation of recipe, you need to set this property, initial password.admin, and here you need to set the password. So anyway, you can set up the administration password. Now let's install the CX recipe. So procedure is like, first step is navigate the installer and open the command line. So here I am navigating to the installer path, and from here I am opening the command line. Now next step is we need to run the install command. So on Windows, this command we need to use. Press enter. So it will take some time for the installation. So I have already installed this recipe. So after recipes, what you will get exactly? So let me move to the install recipe. Here I have already installed the recipe. So let me tell you the changes. I'm going to open here config folder. Inside config we have local extension and local properties. So I'm opening local.properties. See. So after recipe installation, you will able to see those properties in your local.properties file. And in local extension, you will able to see the extension which are there in build.gradle file. See, these are the extensions. Along with these changes, one more change is there. So inside Hybris, we have been inside bin. Earlier we had only modules and platforms. So along with these two, now we can see custom folder is there. And inside custom folder, one more folder is created, that is nothing but YB2B accelerator solver. So we are now done with our recipe installation. Now let's move to the next step. So next step is initialize the SAP Commerce. So before initialization, the system is not fully functional. With initialization, it will generate database schema, the type system, and also it will import the essential data as well. So how we can do this initialization? So there are two ways for this. One is from command line and another one is from administration console. So I will show you how to do it in both the ways. So let's do it from command line. Again, let's move to the platform folder and we need to enter the and initialize command. So here you can see it will take around 1 to 2 hours. In my case, it took around 1 hour and 31 minutes. It's up to your system. It will take the time. Okay. So yes, build is successful. Now we can do the same with the second approach. But with the second approach, you need to make sure that your server is up. Once your server is up, you can open the administration console, that is HSC. And then go to the platform initialization, and here you can see the initialize button. Once you click on the initialize button, the initialization will start. So with this, we are good with our step 6. Now let's move to the step 7. That is nothing but the start the SAP Commerce. So here again we need to navigate to the platform folder. So let me show you. This command you need to enter hybrid server.bat and debug. So also there are two modes to start the server. So first one is normal mode. So here you just need to enter hybrid server.bat, and if you want to start your server in a debug mode, then you need to use hybrid server.bat and debug. Okay. So again it will take some time. In my case it took 17 minutes. Now let's move to the next step, that is the host file. So we need to make entry of the below property in the host file. Let me open the host file. So this is the path of the host file. Here you can see host. I'm going to open it. So here you need to add this property. in a host file. So with these 8 steps, now you can able to access the B2C and B2B accelerator. So in this B2C and B2B accelerator, basically we will get 3 B2B sites, 1 B2B site and HSC back office. Now let me show you how to access HSC back office and Smart Edit. For this URL access, you need username and password. So here username is admin and password is admin1234. This password we have set in a build.gradle file. So that password only you need to use. Now let me show you how to access HSC back office and Smart Edit along with 3 B2C sites and 1 B2B site. So this is the B2B site. This is Apparel UK B2C site. This is Apparel DE B2C site. This is Electronics B2C site. So these 4 sites we are able to access. Now this is Fabris Administration Console, that is nothing but HSC. So here I am using admin 1234. So see, now you are able to access HSC. The same way, the same credential you need to use for the back office. Now you can see back office is open, and with this you can see you will get product cockpit, integration UI tool, adaptive search as. Now let's move to the Smart Edit. With the same credential you will able to access the Smart Edit. Let me open it. Now Smart Edit is open, and now you will able to see the 4 sites, 3 B2C and 1 B2B site. With these steps, now we are able to access B2C and B2B accelerators. In the next video, I will show you how to customize the B2C accelerator to have B2B and B2B C storefronts with Ant module gen command. If you have any doubts, you can comment or you can mail me. Thanks for watching.